I'm waking up.
Well, welcome back to the channel, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. The first thing I'd like to do is thank my video sponsor, Firstpower Pro, who are a product source for all of your marine charging needs. Today we're going to be talking about the Firstpower Pro 10x3, which is a 10 amp by 3 bank charger. And we're going to open up the box, see what's inside, take a look at the specifications, share them with you, and hope that you can make an informative decision when you're on the market for a new charger. Let's take a look. All right, if you're ready, I'm ready to unbox. So let's check it out. It's got a nice weight to it, which is really, really nice. So it comes in a really well packaged box. Comes shipped right in with its protective foam like most products do, and boy, does this have some weight to it. I mean, one of the things that I can tell about a product right away is the weight. I don't know how about you guys, but when I'm kind of gauging, you know, the product's value, usually the weight will tell you how well it's made, because all the internals have a little bit of weight to it. So it's got 3 banks, and it looks like it's got 3 independent separation chargers that almost feels like, yep, there you go. You have 3 completely separate plugs. And it has the quick battery terminal plugs, but if you cut these off, I'm sure that you could mount a permanent clip or something that directly your battery, and then mount it straight to the boat. So it comes with 3 of these. It's got 4 of these screws. It's got a quick manual, pretty typical of what you'll find, and I'm really excited about this. Actually, one thing that I wanted to note is that it does do 120 volts input with a 2-prong outlet. So I'm used to seeing 3 prongs, and I'm not sure why this doesn't have a grounding 3-prong. I don't think that's an issue, but it's just something I'm not used to seeing for a high amp charging system like this. But either way, just wanted to make a note, is that this thing has a 58-inch long cable, so you can pretty much mount this anywhere within your boat. 58 inches, and then it's also got an additional 20 inches here. So I'm going to say that we're looking at maybe about 7 feet of distance between where your batteries are placed and where you mount this thing. So it's got a pretty good amount of cord length. So this can pretty much meet all of your necessary applications, whether you're in a smaller boat or a larger boat like mine. I have a 23-foot striper, and with that length, I can pretty much mount this anywhere. So right away, the outer shell is very well made with a very highly durable plastic, and it is IP68 rated, and that means that it's fully submergible up to a certain distance. But if you're on your boat, you don't have to worry about that, and if it is fully submerged, then you got other issues to worry about. But it's very well protected. You know, looking all around this thing, it's very, very well enclosed, so there's hardly any chance that moisture or even water would ever penetrate. So you can mount this pretty much anywhere in your boat, whether it's inside of the transom or anywhere where there's potential moisture. This thing should protect you very well from those conditions. Well, one of the things that I forgot to think about is whether or not these terminals are stainless steel or aluminum. So I don't know what material this is, but if you're in a marine environment where you're around a lot of salt, corrosion is a big deal. So if you're going to be using these, just like you do with any type of charging systems that are permanently installed, I would highly recommend you apply some lithium grease or electric grease to protect these terminals, to minimize the amount of corrosion that you might get if you're in salt water specifically. So yeah, something to think about. So for a charger that can do 3 banks is pretty competitively priced with some of the other top brands out there. And with 10 amps by 3 banks, you've got plenty of charging power to pretty much cover any battery you want. Just to let you know, this is an exclusive 12-volt charger that does not do 24 volts or 36 volts. And one of the neatest things about this, it's got a 9-step charging sequence where it goes through, it detects your battery, checks the health of your battery before it starts to charge. It provides you all of the LEDs, to signal, the battery condition. Then it'll go through the charging cycle, and at the end of your charging cycle, it will then provide you a conditioning mode where you can leave this thing plugged in and not have to worry at all about your batteries themselves. So you just plug it in, you walk away, and then your batteries will be charged for you. Perfect for when you're on a dock or when you're in front of the house when you're plugged in and not looking to find out what's going on with your batteries. Also, a thing to note that this thing does 30 to 300 amp hour batteries independently on each one of these. So this thing will provide 30 amp output, but it'll do 10 amps on each bank. Okay, so when you're charging larger amp hour batteries, you're going to charge those batteries anywhere from 4 to 40 hours, depending on the size of those batteries that you're using. And with the ability to charge 3 different batteries, where you have a wet cell, you have an AGM, or whether you have the brand new lithium batteries, this will cover a wide range of those batteries for you, and it does a lot of those that are pretty much out on the market. So I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but it'll charge 3 different batteries simultaneously, so you don't have to have all of the same battery types on the banks. You can mix between AGM, lithium, and wet cell, and you can mix and match on any one of these banks, and it'll handle it for you. All you have to do is press the mode button and it'll work for you. All right, well, let's talk about charging time. So unless you're filthy rich to be able to afford one of those 300 amp hour batteries, and I know I'm not going to be able to afford one of those, the typical batteries that you'll find are anywhere from 75 to 100 amp hours, and that should be able to charge in about 7.5 to 11 hours, depending on the condition or the state of that battery when you're out on your outings. Usually I go down to about 30% of my battery because I have a lot of electronics on my boat. So I'm thinking 11 hours is just fine. So that would be me plugging it in the day before and then walking away, and then I'll be ready to go the morning after. So that doesn't seem like it's a problem. It is, though, if you're trying to charge this larger batteries and you're looking to go out the day of, and I don't think that's going to happen. So but it's got enough power to handle most of those batteries, and this looks like it's perfect for that range. The price point is on point. I will tell you, this is very competitively priced in the mid 200s for 3 banks like this. You're not going to find anything like this, and if you do, good luck. Big questions that come up, especially when you're buying really highly expensive products, not only for your boat but for any electronics, is how long is the warranty? Well, this has got a 3-year manufacturer warranty, so you should have some comfort in knowing that if anything should go wrong with it outside of you doing anything to it, the typical wear and tear and things like that, this should be covered for defections of anything from internals failing on you or things of that nature. But it's a 3-year warranty provided by the manufacturer, and you'll probably have to contact them to acquire access to that warranty, but at least you know that within 3 years, if something should go awry, that you're covered. Okay, well, now that we've gone through all the ins and outs of the product, we're going to go ahead and plug it in. We're going to take 2 of our existing batteries, we're going to charge them up, and let's see what this thing can do. And we'll go through all of the LEDs and run through some of the various functions and see what this thing does. So, are you ready? I hope you're ready, because I am. I'm very excited. Let's see what this does. All right, so before I mount this permanently into the boat, I'm going to put it through its paces so we can check out and see what it does. We're going to add the 2 extensions that come with it. I'm only going to be using 2 banks because I have 2 batteries that I like to try this out first, and then we can get a reading on the LEDs and see what it does and what it detects and so forth. So I've got 2 of these extensions. Like I said, you can probably cut these off and mount them permanently, but this is great for especially testing purposes, which is exactly what I'm doing. The red is the positive, the black is the negative. You'll just find your positive terminal on your battery. Go ahead and clip that on. We'll clip that on. And we'll take the second bank and we'll do the same thing. This battery here is the blue top glass mat, or gel battery, excuse me. And then this one here is the traditional wet cell. Positive terminal, negative terminal, negative terminal. Okay, that's it. And before I plug it in, I'm going to make sure that everything is correct with your positive and your negatives. All right, well, I have everything staged, ready to go. I'm only using the 2 banks because I've got the AGM battery here, or the gel battery, and then I've got the wet traditional cell battery. I've got my plug, and I've got my extension cord ready to go, making sure that we've got positive, negative, positive, negative. We're ready to plug it in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and let's see what it does initially. So right away it knows it's 12 volts. It's obvious, it's only a 12 volt charger. So this bank here is showing me that I have a potentially bad battery. I don't know. I have to look at the service manual, we'll find out. But right away, these batteries haven't been charged for a while. They've been sitting. So the fact that it knows that, I'm going to go look this up and find out what that means. Well, this bank is plugged into my old wet cell battery that's been sitting forever. And that indication, according to the service manual, says that's a bad battery. And I'm actually not surprised. And the fact that it detected that was pretty darn amazing. So pretty cool. That was a bad battery. That's the reason why it's out right now. So one thing to note, that as soon as you plug this in, every single one of these were stuck at lithium. So by default, it wanted lithium. So because this is an AGM on this bank, we're going to press the mode button until we get to our AGM. And then that should do it. We'll let it charge. And that's it, guys. There's not much to it. And then this is a 100 amp hour battery, or excuse me, it's a 75 amp hour battery. So that should take about 7.5 to 11 hours to charge. So that's pretty neat. I've got my Optima battery here selected and it's charging. So as it goes through its cycles, I believe these are 20, 40, 60. Yeah, they're 20% marks on each of these LEDs. So this battery is almost charged. And then this battery appears to be dead. And I'm not surprised at all, but the fact that it detected that is impressive, which means that it's doing what it's supposed to do. This battery's been sitting for a very long time. And it's certainly reading it that it's bad. And so, yeah, it's doing its job, guys. I like it so far. Yeah, so I'm probably going to mount it just below here. I'm going to pop out my old one, and that's where we'll put it. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got something out of this. It is a fairly new product for me as well. I've never heard of it, but when I was in the market looking for a brand new charger, I don't think I ever saw one of these. But lithium's been out for a few years, and I never had an opportunity to buy a lithium battery. But my understanding is that lithium, even though it's more expensive, they're a lot lighter by 50% than all of the other batteries. So at some point I am going to replace my own batteries with lithium, and now I have a charger that can do exactly that. So I can't wait. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope that you give this product at least a look. I'm not making any money off of this. I'm not selling the product. I'm merely just showing you the details of it, the unboxing of it, as well as all of the specifications that I'm aware of, and hopefully share that with you. And again, help you make an informative decision when you're on the market trying to spend your hard-earned dollars. So until the next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Appreciate you. Thanks.